Hey, fellow traveler and viewer, welcome to Timeless Tarot. We're gonna jump right in, no intros. Ooh, we got the moon kind of showing here. I just want to say we're starting out with cards that are already drawn, and each one's gonna represent a pile of cards, so each one's a different reading. You can choose one or all of the readings. The choice to explore is always up to you. We're also going to be drawing 4 mystery cards that will be revealed at the end of each reading that will hopefully clarify the reading in a way that kind of summarizes or adds a little bit more understanding to the whole picture that we're going to be seeing. So, we're going to begin. I just drew 4 cards that are hidden. I don't know what they are. You don't know what they are. We will find out together. Okay, great. So, before we begin, please keep in mind that these are broad readings, so if you feel a strong connection to any idea or theme during the reading, keep it with you on your journey, and if not, let it float on by. We can begin now. Please subscribe to see more of me in the future. It really helps this channel grow and is actually very much appreciated, especially comments. I love to chat in the comments, so feel free to jump in and leave a remark. Let us know how you feel about anything. I'm open to all of your thoughts. Okay, so let's begin with group number 1. Hey, reading number 1, welcome to your reading. Or group number 1, I should say. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Sun card, one of the brightest, happiest cards of the tarot. It's the source of abundance, it's the source of warmth and of light. It's beautiful and you love to see it, and hopefully it paints a very strong picture along these cards that shows a sense of growth and of vibrancy. Okay. So we're going to draw 5 cards to begin with. We're going to reveal them, and then we'll continue on afterwards. This is more so what's on the mind and in the spirit. We have some, maybe you're hoping for some warmth to come in, because right now you might be thinking about a disappointment, a loss, because we have the 5 of Cups in the center. In the past, there was a choice to be made, and perhaps you felt you made the right choice, but it was a painful one, okay? You were trapped in a situation, and you had to choose one of 2 paths, okay? You felt trapped, at least, in a situation. You felt obligation in a situation. Trapped might be a strong word, but this was one where you weren't trapped. You could choose to leave it, but it was one where you felt part of something. You felt connected, and you didn't want to break free fully because you felt a connection to it. We have an 8 of Swords, leading to the 2 of Pentacles, a choice to be made, a material choice, one of real world stuff. It would fall within the second line eventually. This is something where you're choosing mentally to change the world, and it's leading to a thought of loss, and really it's going to probably tie into some emotional connection that is rather in some ways sad, but there is a silver lining here. This was potentially the right choice, but a hard one, okay? Because we have the 2 cups in the background that have not fallen. The 3 in the front are the ones that you're paying attention to right now, but there's a silver lining, and it's going to lead to, well, we have this thought of a knight here. We have this a sense of moving forward strongly with conviction, with an idea, moving fast, okay? And that leads to, well, some kind of stagnancy, but it could be more peace. In this realm, it can be a peace. You've kind of found a perspective, and it's not changing much moving forward, and that can be a good thing because it could be something that is working for you. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the material realm now. We're going to draw 5 cards and align them with the timeline here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so to clarify the 5 of Cups, what are we looking at here? Is this some relationship? Is this a career path? What is going on? We have, well, I'm going to guess heartbreak, because this is a relationship thing, because we have the 4 of Swords, which comes right after 3 of Swords. And if you're familiar with the tarot cards, we all know the 3 of Swords. It's a very iconic card. It's one with the heart and the 3 swords in it, which stands for heartbreak, a sense of loss, a feeling of disconnection. And now we have that moment of healing, or at least rest afterwards. You could be feeling a little peaceful right now, actually. So there is you're sad, in your thoughts, but you realize you just need to focus on yourself and rest. In the past, we have the King of Swords. Okay, so the swords decision making, really strong decision making in the past. Okay, you had to make a choice, and you have this King of Decisions, the King of Swords, King of Thinking, it's a logical decision. You made it based not so much with the heart, but with the mind. It was something that needed to be done. You knew just rationally. Eventually, down the road, the heart was going to not be able to maintain what it was that you were hoping for. You were not able to sleep about this. You were thinking about this, and it was causing you distress. In the past, you felt this obligation to the situation. It was keeping you up at night in some ways. It was, because while you knew it wasn't the right way, you also have a heart of gold, and you wanted to make sure that the best was happening for everybody. And in some ways, that was kind of holding you back and hurting you. And even though it wasn't best for you, you felt it was best for other people, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was. Even though I know the unknowns of the world. It can be, you probably were a very good option for whatever it was that you were obligating yourself to. You probably were providing quite a bit, and really strong, you were really providing a safety to somebody, or solace to someone. You were providing nurturing support to somebody, and it was not unwarranted. It wasn't something unwanted. It was something good. Okay. But you realized, in the end, if it wasn't good for you in the long run, and rationally it wasn't going to work out in the long run, it was something that had to be let go of, even if you really do want to hold on to it. Okay. And now we have this kind of princely character. We have a Knight of Cups coming in, someone who's more emotionally resilient, someone who's a little bit more happy. There's a happiness here, okay? This could be something you're embodying, because we have two knights together. We have conviction in an idea, in your rational mind. You're convinced that this is the rational choice, and you're moving forward with it. Your heart is going to feel full in some ways, because in some ways your heart is kind of reluctant to have gone along with the mind in this case, but realized the mind was right, which is not normally the case. Or at least it's often not. That this is an interesting situation where I think there's a lot of love going on here from both parties. If this is a relationship, both people love each other. It's just perhaps long distance kind of situation, where it's just this distance, or the scenario, the situation at hand that's in place. It's just not allowing this to be. This is kind of a sad Paradise Lost kind of situation. But then we come into this kingly character here. So we go from prince to king. Moving forward, you're kind of sticking to the same thought process. Moving forward, you were convicted and you move forward with it, and now you remain in that state of mind moving forward, and you're aligning with an energy of charisma, of really problem solving, someone who is the right choice for you, some kind of situation that is definitely more in aligned with building a foundation. Okay, here we're emotionally resilient, or emotionally joyful in some ways. We're refilling our cup, and we're moving towards a position where we can choose to really build something out, and lay a groundwork for our own means of establishing stability, provision, abundance. It's coming from, the actions are going to be one of charisma, and you're also going to be meeting people who align with this energy. Something to do with starting your own business, something to do with starting your own personal project, or finding someone who has a problem and really knowing that you have the creative solutions for that problem, where you're able to take courage and command in a situation and really run with it. This could be in relationships or in career. Okay, but this is an abundant move, a move towards abundance, a move towards the inner light, coming out and realizing that you can trust that whoever it is that you are helping out is strong, and they're going to be able to do what they need to do as well. They're not going to fall down a trap of anything. They're going to do their best. They're very smart. You know that. Okay, let's keep going. I mean, this could be something that's not necessarily romance. It could be romance. It could be partnerships. It could be friendships even, where you were giving advice and they just kept, doing their own thing. And eventually you're like, I can't give you advice anymore on this. You're going to have to figure this out on your own kind of situation. One of those where you're kind of letting somebody decide for themselves, even though you really want to put more of your your thought into the situation. You want to influence it more, but perhaps you feel it's actually better to let them decide. Okay. So we have the Chariot. There's movement within. There's a lot of built up energy within you. While you're physically at rest, your mind is kind of sorrowful. The cup's being refilled, actually. That's what I'm seeing. You're realizing that there's more lessons to be learned subconsciously, and that's filling your heart up. You realize right now you're doing the right thing. Okay, so we have this new cup that's being filled. Coming from a place of you having known that you were putting in your resources, your energy. The King of Pentacles is one of true wisdom in where to put one's energy, be it finances, time, attention, love, care, all of that. Yourself, your life force, and all of the material pieces and nicks and like little things that come with your life force. Money that like kind of channels with you, that kind of thing. That is this. You're intuitively knowing how to command it now, and intuitively understanding where to consciously make the right choices. Okay, this doesn't necessarily have to do with money, but it oftentimes does. But within this realm, the internal, it really can be more about emotions, attention, and life force in general. If it was in the middle ground, it would be way more related to money. But here we're making decisions that are material decisions, so they don't necessarily have to be about money, but they can be where you live, what you're doing, who you talk to, the very groundwork of the five senses. Decisions are being made in a very rational way, in a very strong way, coming from having an internally being able to articulate now how you make your decisions and why you feel the way you do. And there's some new emotions here, and you're moving fast within your internal being. Your internal sense of self is actually really well balanced right now and is moving forward towards progress, which is going to lead to a physical feeling of, a little bit of confidence, maybe not joy so much, but confidence and play, ability to create, be artistic, perform in front of others, be emotionally available, which is going to lead to creative courage, charisma, confidence. Okay. Your internal self, your feelings of who you are, now move towards from the Chariot to the Hierophant. So in the future, we're going to see a traditional means of approaching your internal life. So perhaps you might be going to therapy, or you are learning about traditional perspectives or theories of how the mind works. In some ways, this could be helping you move forward. You could be reading books, or perhaps just going back to traditional routines that are like good groundwork for you moving forward. Okay, and this is going to be letting go. This is kind of letting life, there's an acceptance here. I feel really strong acceptance here, and it's coming with sadness. Interesting. Yeah, I would say, hey, trust that people are going to do the best, okay? Trust that people are going to make the best decisions for themselves. They're going to protect themselves. You can move forward with that. And you're going to do the best for you. You really are, because the more that you do for yourself and strengthen yourself and know that you're making the right choices, the more you're going to align with people who are doing the same. And you're going to be able to work together in really profound ways that you can't even see right now. It's going to be beautiful. And you're going to work together to make this better world. And you're going to create a safe environment for people like yourself that can grow into this, where it's not so much of a conflict, but rather a cooperative joint effort. You're joining a group here. You're joining I don't want to say movement. This is more of a place of love that isn't trying to conquer another spot. This is just trying to create a little place where people can really live safely and fulfilled and really feel comfortable. Okay, comfortable enough to be vulnerable and tender to each other rather than defensive and locked in battle. Okay, and that's the Sun story right here. Okay, there's an abundance here. So before we leave, we're going to see what is this hidden card. Wow. Okay, well, this is a rebirth story. Okay, you're making the right choices because we have the Fool here, the card of cards, the one who's willing to be vulnerable, the one who's willing to put themselves out into the world and see what happens, even if they know there's danger, they know there's risk, but they're a strong individual. They're somebody who's seen it once before and they come back. They are the eternal wisdom of someone who is completely new to a situation and is willing to be a beginner again, a beginner's mind renewed again. Beautiful. Okay. Group number 1, if you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe to this channel to see more of me in the future. I wish you the best on this journey. I believe it's going to be one of beauty and love and healing and growth, something where there's the light's just bursting forth. Beautiful. Take care. Okay, group number 2, welcome to your reading. I hope you're doing well. How are you doing? Okay. Had to take a bit of a break from the last reading. Ooh. Look at that spin. Should we read a reversal? I've never done reversals. I almost never do reversals. But we can try to at least logically equate what a reversal of the 2 swords would be. 2 swords being one of a choice that needs to be made blindly. It's kind of, you have to trust your intuition. It's a difficult choice to be made. It's one where you can't see the actual outcomes of one or the other. The reversal of that would be you have already made a decision and you see where it's taken you. Okay? Interesting. Or it could be the choice is very clear. Okay, we have Page of Swords. Some learning has been done. You are able to take this new idea, this new concept, this new knowledge, bring it forth into the world with enthusiasm and charisma. However, it will come in fits and starts. You'll realize that maybe it's not a one-size-fits-all solution to something, so you have to align it with your now lived experience of taking a new knowledge and implementing it. In the past, we have the King of Wands, so some form of courage and charisma and real creative problem solving was done in the past. Okay. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, so a sense of protection of one's resources, of one's territory, of one's boundaries, being, this is a brilliant card to represent establishing boundaries in a relationship. Okay, we're going to put this right again because there's lots of choices here today. Okay, a release. So we're getting some cards from last reading. A release, relief almost, in some ways coming for you soon. And it's going to come with, kind of you knowing what to hold on to, knowing what to put your attention towards, and what to focus on. There might be a relationship involving communication, long distance. Okay. Let's continue on and draw 5 more cards. Oh, and I will not forget about the hidden card, the one that should add a little bit more clarity at the end of the reading. Okay. Cool. We got 5. So we have. What is it that you have to make a choice about, or that you have already made a choice about? It has something to do with boundaries. It has something to do with solving a problem, of having new knowledge, and it's going to lead to a release, a letting go, a relief. Really interesting. Okay, these cards are sliding all over the place today. We have meticulously refining your perspective and the work you do into this. This isn't just a simple solution. We're just going to go with this. This is one that's going to take care. It's going to probably take deliberation, consideration of other people and their perspectives. It might even be require some patience, and it's going to involve some kind of, not tit for tat, but going into the details of a situation and understanding that the solution isn't just they're gone, or the solution isn't cut them off completely, or the solution isn't we're going to stick together no matter what happens. The solution is we're going to need to really figure this out together. refine the situation, something where we can be a little bit more understanding of each other, but also understand where we need to take action and where the other person needs to have their own agency, okay? If this is a relationship, it could also be career oriented because we have a lot of wands, okay, and pentacles. So, and like less cups in this. I don't see a single cup right now. Okay, so this could be less so of emotional romance, and it could be more of the practicalities of the situation. So this could be in career. It could also be in just the nuts and bolts of a relationship, though. It could still be romance, but it's more focused on, the boundaries. Here is a boundary. Here is how I respond. Here is how I manage my emotions when this happens. That kind of stuff, okay? Yeah, we're still getting pentacles. So this actually could be way more career oriented. But all of this still applies, obviously. Boundaries are very important in your career. A work-life balance, knowing when someone should be able to call you. Like if you're getting a call from somebody at 8 o'clock at night and you're off work, you're not on the clock, I don't see that as a boundary that should be easily broken. And really, there's only very few circumstances. Perhaps if you're in a job that is one that does take care and safety of responsibility of something that needs to be addressed immediately. Perhaps. If it's something involving like, I don't know why I want to see like railway stuff, or like nurse, like if there's like a medical thing, like if you're getting a call, doctors get calls all the time. That's an understandable aspect of that career because these are urgent matters that could save a life. So that makes sense. But in other circumstances, like let's say you're a creative writer or you're someone in marketing or something like that, your boss doesn't have any right to call you at 8 o'clock at night. Okay, nothing's that urgent. Okay, yeah, maybe there might be some deadlines or something, but that should have been established weeks before. If you're expected to work late, that's something that needs to be brought up in person or during work hours, not as some kind of emergency call at 8. I don't know why I'm going off on that. I don't even have that situation right now, but okay. But it has happened to me. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands clarifying the Four of Pentacles. So standing your ground in some kind of long-term distance communication. Before that, and that's in the future, before that, and you're going to stand your ground. It's not actually necessarily that bad. It's more just like, these are the boundaries you set already. We're establishing them and we're going to enforce them, which means when someone does try to breach the boundary, we are going to reject that breach and we're going to either ignore the call or we're going to tell them this is unacceptable and here's why and here's how I'm not going to respond to you moving forward when this happens. And in fact, you're not getting anything from me starting now moving forward when this happens, okay? And I'm seeing more of this as like boss calling at 8 o'clock at night, okay? All right, so cool. And that's in that scenario. If it could be much more, nurturing and kind. If it's someone in a romantic relationship, you can be caring and at the same time firm. Cool. Beautiful. Okay. Well, you have this stability here that comes from relief. You have a moment you need to stand your ground, but it's one where you've held on to it and you're going to stick to your principles and stick to what you said, and you're going to establish these boundaries and enforce them. Enforcement. And it's not going to be one that causes much issue. It's just going to be, okay, I guess you're serious about this. In that case, moving forward, we will respect these boundaries. Oftentimes when a boundary is laid out, there needs to be a moment of, is this really a boundary or is this something we can negotiate? And if this is one you can't negotiate, you're not going to negotiate, the other party's going to find out very quickly because you're going to protect this boundary and you're going to enforce it. Cool. Okay. So it has something to do with choice and has something to do with knowledge, and you might be in school. It could be someone, I almost have this scenario where there's a group project and someone's trying to throw all the work on someone else. You know what I mean? We're going to go from the bottom for that last one. Okay. But that's a scenario that could be really solved easily, where you say, look, we're going, and it takes a little guts. It takes having the courage to face the person, and it can be just one-on-one to say, look, here's the situation. You're not doing the work that you should be doing. You're not doing the work you should be doing. I know you're a fun person. You're trying to be kind, or like you're trying to be friendly. You're trying to like get away with this, but we expect the responsibilities of your work to be done by you. You have a set requirement, and if it's not done in time, it's going to be the response or the repercussions of it not being done is going to lay squarely within your hands. And I'm not going to hide the fact that you're slacking by doing more work. Okay, this is not one situation where I do the extra work so that we get the good grade. I might even take a hit in my grade so that you understand your responsibility is required. You need to step up and do your side of this. That's another scenario where that kind of responsibility, it takes guts, and someone might try to like sneak their way out of it. But if you hold your firm and you enforce this boundary, what happens now is that the responsibility of that enforcement goes on the person, and anybody who's in the pathway of growth and responsibility is going to learn that that's something that they now need to embody themselves. And in fact, what you are doing is lifting them up by giving them that push. And that's the difference between kindness and niceness. I'm kind of realizing is that niceness would be where you kind of do the work for them, and they never learn their lesson, and they put that weight on someone else's shoulder later, and it never changes. But you, being the person who enforces it, allows the world to improve because you've just lifted somebody else up, and you put them in a scenario where they face somebody else in the future. They can lift somebody else up as well, or they're at least not going to be a burden on someone else who would otherwise have just let them walk all over them, right? Okay. It's kind of a standing up to bullies story I just told, I guess. I don't know. Not even bully, just someone who's like kind of slacking. Okay. So within you've been doing a lot of work, and there's some setbacks here and there, but you continue on. That this is it. You're committed to this work, this putting in the effort into oneself with this new knowledge, and you're going to take it forward. And it's leading to some stability, but let's kind of delve right back into this. This is kind of a career-oriented path. This is how you make money, or how you're learning how to make money. And there's some charisma here. There's some standing your ground. There is a lot of charisma, actually, because you have the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Internally, you might be kind of feeling maybe hurt from a past experience. Like your boundaries, you set these new boundaries, which is good, and you're making a lot of progress, but you're still kind of feeling a little like stung from what happened before. But you put this new boundary up. You're starting this new path towards growing your own energy and your own courage, and it's moving forward really nicely. Okay, now this could just be kind of a setback, more so like just reminiscing of the time, and you feel a little hurt. But there could be some lesson that you need to internalize here so that you can commit to this path forward. Okay. Moving forward, this internal commitment alongside hard, deliberate effort to refine your progress and your actions through this new knowledge leads to stability. It also leads to I'm going to say calmness here, internal peace with mental release and relief. Interesting. So you're feeling relieved and at peace and calm, and you're ready to take on. This challenge is one you can take on and succeed in, yes, because you're feeling confident in your internal ability to make the right choices. You are trusting your subconscious. You're trusting that extra sense of self, not just the ego, but everything else that is you, which is your lived environment, your experiences, those moments where you kind of have a feeling in your heart or your stomach, or just the feeling where you're really embodying yourself. There's this expression, feel with your mind and think with your heart. That's kind of what's going on here, and it's one where you're really present in yourself. You're present in yourself, and you know the right choices to be made. You might be communicating long distance, but you are still really where you are. You're coming from your centered self. Beautiful. Okay. So what is this hidden card? What is the one thing that we need to know, that extra thing that we need to know? Fortune favors you in this case, okay? Good things are happening for you. There's good elements coming in. Not everything has to be such conflict. I might be providing a lot of conflict examples, but what this could be is this could just all happen naturally. You stand your ground, and it's not even like, it feels almost effortless. You know what you're doing is for the better good, and you just do it. And there's like actually no conflict within you. There's commitment, resiliency, there's calm, serenity, and there's a sense of actually like conscious knowledge of why you're doing everything. You consciously are embodying your best self and choices. And that's leading to a better world, because when you grow and you stand up for yourself, you lead the people who need to be doing that as well towards that as well. You're a guiding light, and you're going to continue to be. Beautiful. Group number 2. I wish you the best in this, and you stand up for yourself, and you do that well. And I can't wait to hear how that's going for you. Leave a comment and tell us how you're doing. I would love to hear about it. Okay. Take care. Bye. Hey, how's it going? Group number 3, you chose the Strength card and that mystery card underneath. We got that going for you too. We will see what that card is at the end. I don't know what it is, and neither do you, so we're on this journey together. Alright, so let's continue on and draw 5 cards to begin with to see what's on the mind, what's in the spirit. We'll draw from the top for the last 2. Ooh, okay. We got 2, 3. Do we have 4? No, we have 3. Okay. Let's put this one here. I'll put these here, and these will just be drawn, or we'll show these at the end of these 5, just to see what's on the mind. There's a lot on your mind. That must be what's going on. Okay, so what do you have here? Okay, you've been letting go of something. You've been seeing it move past you. You're kind of letting someone take their journey and take their strength and move with it. You know, you were victorious in the past. There was something that you were proud of having done. You made the right choice and you knew it. You're finding where you belong intellectually. Moving forward, we have a sense of nurturing. You're going to be in line. You're going to be mentally attuned to a very nurturing capability. And that's going to lead to a joyful, playful move forward. Beautiful. Someone who's emotionally resilient, someone who can really connect with somebody emotionally, really be in many ways present, emotionally present. Okay. Not pulled in different directions because you're letting something go. Okay. So we say all this because starting here, we have the 3 of Pentacles, which is providing your important sense of self. What you're adding, your contribution to the whole is extremely important, and it fits in with the group effort to build out this cathedral of world, this new vision for the world. Okay, leading to some form of triumph, some victory, at least mental, one of thought where you're feeling courageous and you're feeling proud of what having accomplished something, perhaps involving what you contributed to the world, and it's leading to letting go of certain energies or letting go of certain aspects of a relationship or people so that they can go on their path and you can go on yours. There's no hard feelings. It's just kind of seeing where something goes. It could also be releasing a project into the world, publishing a book, just sending a post on social media. Whatever it is, you're letting it out into the world so that it can now go and perhaps come back. But for now, it moves down this river and you watch it gently move forward, okay? And then we have the Queen of Cups. So, bountiful, nurturing energy of the emotions. Someone who can really listen to somebody and make someone feel really seen, and you can bring out that beauty, and you can bring out that emotional beauty in others as well as nurture it within yourself. And you're really knowledgeable of how to do this. Okay, you can even articulate in some ways how you do this, which is not bad. It's not just the reason it's normally would be intuitive if it was on this page, on this line, but here it's in the mind, so you're thinking about it. It's on the mind. You're consciously working towards this, okay? You might not be able to explain exactly how it's done. We humans shouldn't always have to be able to. Sometimes it just is done because we are, right? Okay, but then this moves to the Knight of Cups, who is somebody who I would say is the performer of the group. He's somebody who can really connect to a larger group, can be in a public space, knows how to engage with somebody on an emotional level, and is fun while doing it, flirtatious almost. And you have this strength here, so this could be really positive experiences moving forward, very positive. Wow, okay, and then the 2 cards that also want to come out was the sense of nurturing we have here on a more motherly, nature-connected level. Like this could involve the mother. This could involve the aspect of being a mother. And we have this like when will it end feeling, because we have the nine of wands. But you're almost there. Whatever it is you're working towards, you're almost there. Perhaps there's a long essay to write or something. Like, I don't know why I'm thinking writing. Comment if you're a writer, or you write posts, or you're like some social media manager, or you're learning something right now and you're writing essays, something like that. Could be involved. I don't know why I keep thinking about writing. It probably is because of the Three of Pentacles, which is a scholarly situation for many. So you could be in school. Okay. The other thing here is we have two very strong cups alongside strength, and it's on the mind. So this is what we're thinking about, with some triumphant letting go, moving towards having real competency in this this aspect of emotional well-being and spiritual well-being, especially up here. Okay, so spiritual well-being. Great. Beautiful. You're putting in a lot of work. And actually, we're going to show the other card. We're going to have the Empress kind of dominate this spot on the screen, okay? Because the Empress is one of nurture, but also one of creation. We have more nurturing here. This is nurturing, creation, connection to nature, giving birth to that kind of energy. Okay. Great. Okay. So clarifying the Three of Wands, we have the Two of Wands. Oh, look at those two together. Very similar cards, in especially in how they're illustrated. You have men wearing basically just robes, and you see a lot of their back, and they have their wands, and they're looking out on the land, right? They have a elevated position, being able to see more of the landscape, where Three is letting and watching things progress, letting things go, letting people move in their own directions, and just seeing where the world takes us, where everything, what comes back, what does not. Two is more so planning. It's a choice, but it's a choice being made through really looking at and mapping it out. Okay, so it could be planning a trip with wands. It often is aligned with movement and action. But it could also just be planning out. It could be like planning your schedule for your next semester. It could be planning out your project groups, your plan of action moving forward for the next few months, something like that in your career. It could be planning out what you want to do. Like, if this happens, then I'll do this. Have kind of like a if this, then that tree of some sort. There were some friend groups. We have the threes here. Maybe you were really working. Oh, sorry guys, I bumped the mic. Maybe you're working in a group that was very friendly with each other. Like, you got so, maybe it was like a study group where everyone's just like really, really close now. Could be. But then you have the Seven of Swords. So there's a sense that maybe you're taking an idea from someone else. But it's one where it's okay to do so. It's borrowing of an idea. You might be just following in the footsteps of someone you see as having been successful. Okay, moving forward. And now we lead to Ten of Cups. Beautiful. Excuse me. So we have this Ten of Cups and the Queen of Cups. And we have the Knight of Cups. So emotional well-being is coming into the future. Really holistically, this could be a situation where you are in a relationship where you really do fit the bill. Like, you really wanted to be in a relationship where you had a specific role, and leading forward, you've moved to a place where you are in the position to have that specific role, and that's beautiful and something that you should be in. And then we have, well, look at that. We left her out. I'm glad, because we have the Emperor. We have the Empress and the Emperor coming out at once. So an Emperor is coming into you. Into your life, some kind of energy involving command, dominance, masculine, really having full control over oneself. And this could be something that it could be a person coming into your life that has those traits. It could also be you taking and embodying those traits and having the strength to really have command over the things that you need to, and balancing it with the feminine energy, or it could be The feminine energy is balancing with you. It could be one or the other. Whatever it is, we have a balance here because both are coming out. So the focal point isn't necessarily one or the other, but rather embodying both so that there can be an emotional, resilient, and bountiful and supportive environment moving forward. One that's really happy. We got some really good happiness here. Family growth kind of thing. The potential for a very stable family, a very safe environment, something like that, moving forward with this strong masculine coming in at the end. Okay. Cool. How does this make you feel? We're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to go into the subconscious, the emotional communicator, the, in some ways, a much more knowledgeable sense of self. Okay, we got 2 here, so we'll put 1 more here. All right. There's much happening in the subconscious. Okay. So we have more and more wands. So this could be movement. You could be moving to a better place. In the past, you're putting in work. You're putting in a lot of work. And perhaps you felt like you committed to something, and some part of you was doubting it, but you were still seeing progress, so you did not quit. You kept moving forward. You can manifest things because you have the magician in the past. We have these threes, and then moving into the magician. Perhaps whatever happened with your place within this group was one that needed to happen for something to move forward, for some release to happen, some letting go mentally. There's heartbreak in some ways. You do feel like, hey, this is one of those things where you might be in a happy relationship now, and there's just a pang or memory that happens from the past. But it's healing. Yeah, we're healing. Okay. We're healing. Because we have the Star with the Emperor, with Knight of Cups. It's a very happy moment, actually. It's one where, you're strong, you're resilient. Strength is a big theme here. Mentally, you're emotionally connected to people, and you're able to incite happiness within other people. You're able to vibrate on that frequency because you've come from a nurturing place. You created an environment of safety. You might feel little memories of loss, or you miss somebody, but you're healing from that, and you're moving forward. You are a very creative person. We have a lot of the creation cards here. We have the nurturing creative cards because we have the artist alongside the Empress. That might be something that you align with very strongly, almost like an Empress artist. I don't know. A new archetype for you. The Empress artist. I like it. Very strong, very nurturing, creative, commanding, but one who creates a healing world. I like it. Okay. So what's this mystery card we got? Man, Magician too. You have the Magician, the Empress. You have the 10 of Cups. You have the Emperor. You have the Star. You have all of these high-class cup cards. You have the Queen and the Knight. You have one of the more happy wand cards. You have the 6 of Wands. You have the 3 of Pentacles, where you're studiously connected into the whole, where you're connected with manifestation. So you truly are someone who provides an important role in your relationship. And you pick the Strength card. So you're someone who is focused on being strong and knowing that your empowerment is incredibly important to the world, because you're somebody worthy of this, of having agency in it. And that is something that's going to make the world better, because you're going to incite that. You're going to vibrate that frequency into other people as well, because everyone should be able to have their agency in a situation and their voice. Okay, one moment. Sorry about that. We had a vacuum going on in the background. I just thought that might be a little distracting. It might be annoying even. But we have the final card, which was a 5 of Pentacles, which is a feeling of being lonely, a feeling of being left out, a feeling of being out in the cold when there's warmth inside. And that feeling might have been in the past, or it will be in the past soon, because you're finding the warmth within you to move forward in a place where you can come inside this warm place. And it's one of the situations where you really are, you're able to be empathetic to others, because you have felt this sense of being isolated in the past. So now that you have experienced that, you can see when other people are behaving in ways that you might have in the past because of this feeling of being left out. And that actually is a core aspect of empathy in some ways, and it's one of the ways where I can find peace with having felt pain and in many ways suffering too, is that having experienced the pain and suffering in the past, it allows me to empathize more with those who are feeling pain and suffering now, and gives us both a chance to heal together faster and more efficiently, because we now know we've met someone who's experienced that sensation and is willing to get out of it, and it's possible to get out of. And just knowing that somebody has experienced that feeling of being left out in the past and no longer feels that feeling can give those who are feeling it now the hope that they one day will come into the warmth too. So that's something that I think is a driving force in how you are such a strong person, someone who's so able to now nurture others and bring happiness and joy into others' minds and hearts, because you have felt the opposite in the past. And that is the beauty of polarity, and it is something that you now are able to embody and strengthen others because you have this knowledge. Okay? And you are somebody who really does belong in this environment where you can stand up and say, the feelings of heartbreak that we feel is something that is actually one of the more universal aspects of humanity. Although it can be kind of sad, it can also be heartwarming to know that we're in this together. We are in this together, okay? So I hope the best for you, group number 3, I believe. And I really hope that you can continue on with us in this journey, and I hope you like this enough to leave a comment and subscribe to see more of me in the future. But whatever it is that you're moving forward to, it's going to be one where you have the strength to find safety and happiness, and you're going to be aligning or resonating that frequency with others so that they can be aligned with that path of healing as well, and path of light. We're all just light, right? Okay, take care. Hey, group number 4, how you doing? If you were from group number 3, I just said one thing that I kind of want to clarify. I hope I can get some of you before you leave, but the sense that we're all just light. I said we're all just light, but that's not necessarily the right way to put it. We are light within, and we're so much more. I just wanted to clarify that. I felt like I kind of rambled a little bit and maybe said the wrong few words in the wrong order at the wrong timing. But I'm trying to clarify that for those who stuck around. For those who didn't, they moved on and they're going somewhere else. They're 3 of Wands off to the other side here. Okay, and hopefully they come back and see another reading in the future. Great. So we have 5 cards. We are going to draw 5 more after this, and then 5 more after that. The sense of security and abundance is on your mind. We're also thinking about friendships and relationships in general, and it comes from having had quite a bit of life lessons that might have been a little painful along the way. Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands, moving to the 3 of Cups, moving to the 10 of Pentacles. So it's kind of all over the place so far. A lot's on your mind. Could be you're thinking about work, you're thinking about friends, you're thinking about security and money. Could be you're also thinking about romance, because we have these more cups. He's King of Cups here, or the King of Cups here. Okay, so there's a lot happening in your life, and we've seen it all. Okay, so love is coming in. Thinking about love is coming in, and how you relate to love. And it's going to lead to triumph and victory, some form of celebration in the mind. So you're thinking about love, you're thinking about security. Okay, so we got a love connection here, because we have the King of Cups moving into the Lovers, with a triumphant moment in the future in your mind. Okay. There we go. And let's continue on. All right. And this one. Okay, we're getting a couple more. So we'll just take a look at those as well. Okay, so clarifying the 10 of Pentacles, we have 2 of Cups. So now we're definitely talking about relationships here. We have some partnership of some form right now happening, or some aspect of a partnership that's leading to your thoughts about love. And we're thinking about this King of Cups character here, who might be a masculine, emotionally available figure. Okay. There was some heartbreak in the past. Maybe not heartbreak popped out, so we'll go with it. But this could just be disappointment in general. Emotional disappointment. Oh, and we did say heartbreak. Well, I just came out. There we go. We're connected here. We have the heartbreak, the Three of Swords, moving to sadness and disappointment. Thinking about friendships, thinking about relationships in general. There's some life lessons learned in the past, some really big ones. And now we have this kind of, you are embodying yourself right now. You're kind of both the balanced selves. You are right now looking at relationships and thinking about them very strongly in terms of security, and in terms of how you help others, and in terms of how they're helping you, in terms of the stability, security, home perspective. Okay. The sun's coming in. Well, look at that. You have the Lovers and the sun connected. That's beautiful. Okay. So maybe thoughts of love, and there is love coming in. There's a sense of your internal warmth is lit up. Your heart's lit up, and that's beautiful. You're on the right path moving forward in the future. Okay, and you're going to stand your ground, because you're going to be, this is the right path for you. You're going to know this is what's right. I know this is right. Good. You felt the warmth, and you're going to stand, and you're going to continue and commit to that. Beautiful. Because we have Two of Cups moving into the sun, moving into Seven of Wands, which is standing your ground of some sort. Okay, and then we have these guys coming back again from last reading. We have the Star, and we have Queen of Cups. So nurturing and healing environment, nurturing and healing people. These might be friends. Two different friends, perhaps. Which are able to help you heal and help nurture that sense of self in you. Maybe actually believing in friendship again could be a path for you, because sometimes you might have had bad experiences with friendships in the past. There could have been some situation where people's treatment of you and your boundaries and your energy was not in alignment, and now you might have been a little defensive, but now you're kind of, hey, it's worth a shot. Maybe friends are worth having. I don't know why that's kind of the attitude I'm feeling towards that right now. Okay, so interestingly enough, but then we have this love, this warmth, and a standing your ground, holding on, and being victorious in the mind, and knowing that the thought is good. Okay. Who are these guys? Like, I feel like there's these three people here. We have the King of Cups, we have the Queen of Cups, and then we have the Star. Who's who? I don't know. Sometimes the star doesn't even have to be like, it could just be a star. All right. But it's healing. I don't know why I'm feeling like, okay, this is me saying, draw from the bottom. Okay. I'll trust my gut here, and we'll draw from the bottom, and we'll lay it out as it is right here. Okay. Heartbreak. Okay, there was a lot of thought. There was disappointment here, because we have the Five of Cups, the Four of Cups, but something was coming in, some realization that led to commitment. While you were feeling very sad and heartbroken, in your soul, this is a more spiritual feeling. It's not necessarily even the heart. You could be very heartbroken, but spiritually fulfilled, and that might be the situation that's happening here. Now, the body is present within the idea of a coupling, and the mind, or the within the spirit, and within the subconscious, you have a release and a relief. You might be tired a little bit, but there's going to be good decisions, intuitive decisions, but other people will see as rational ones. But you're going to be making very strong decisions, very good decisions, and they're going to come from within. The feeling of the right choice is going to lead you to standing your ground, and it's going to bring warmth to you, because that spirit, when I was just talking about this, we are light. The light within is going to bring in warmth and clarity into your life. And it's also going to bring stability of your sense of self. So you're going to feel your body be more at peace, and more of a secure, safe reaction to things coming forward because you know you're making the right choices and you're in a good environment to do so, okay? And you're going to trust your intuition here. It's going to lead to, you're going to say, hey, wow, like, everything's kind of working out for me. Try to let the ego go in this case. This isn't necessarily about having like a right to this good fortune. This is about you just doing what's right for yourself and others and just focusing in on that and not worrying about why is good happening to you. Is it something that you deserve? That's not the question to ask right now. The question to ask is just, how can I continue to follow the path of light and happiness and good? Follow that star in the mind. I don't know why that, like if there's a dream you have, it might be beneficial for you to envision that dream again. Like maybe right now is the time to think about what it is that you really want here. How is that star that you aligned with this idea of a dream outcome? What does that entail? What do you need to follow when you have to follow that star? I keep thinking, follow the star. I don't know, that's popping in my mind as well. Okay. Group number 4. I'm sorry about that heartbreak in the past, and I know you probably are still feeling it pretty emotionally. I mean, I know this could be one of those things where you can kind of almost feel it in different places at different times. You might feel it in the heart, in the gut, in the shoulders. You might feel it in your eyes. You might feel it in your head. Like it's like it kind of travels. It kind of takes a grand tour, and sometimes sometimes your feet. This kind of thing is the part of the human condition. Is like a real heartbreak like this is one that needs to kind of travel through to be expressed and be in some ways be mourned. I mean, there's like when we lose a relationship of some sort, whatever it was in the past that's represented here through the Three of Swords. It is a loss of something. I mean, I do think that in many ways when we have a relationship with someone else, we're actually creating two entirely new people because we are new people with this relationship. If there's a committed, very strong relationship with someone, one that's new and loving and romantic, one like that, or even one that's just deep and friendly, there is this new thing that is unique and it cannot be fully replicated in any way. I mean, there's a new path though, but that doesn't mean that because it was lost that like all is lost, because these relationships that we have with people, these understandings come with us all having grown, and it means we're new people when we meet up with others that we've never met before, or perhaps we've known from the past. In some ways, this kind of new relationship, we can mourn the past that was lost, but we can also kind of be celebrating the future that can come in, the birth of something new, a birth of a new relationship, of something that perhaps is, while it's not going to be a replica of what was from the past, it can fill and reinvigorate our sense of selves in ways that are beautiful and calming, and in many ways just continue on, and we can cherish the moments we had in the past with others. But, we can always also stand our ground and move forward because we want to create a world that is in line with our vision. And maybe perhaps we tried to have that with someone else or something else. But, the vision is important. And the idea that we're moving towards is one where we're working together better and better. I mean, I think that's kind of, and sometimes that means the way it was structured in the past is just not exactly how it's going to work out. We're gonna continue to refine this and try to figure out how we can complement each other better and more beautifully. I mean, there's so much here. Yeah. All right, we have this mystery card. What's going on here? Like, is there anything that can be clarified here with one card? With just one card, is there anything that can be clarified? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, we've pondering these thoughts, that's for sure. Food for thought popped in my mind. Food for thought. Where you put your energy is important. Pile number 4. You are your own unique self. I see some things talked about online. People love to talk about NPCs lately. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. Some people even pretend to be NPCs. They'll like do it on screen and they act like they're a non-player character. It's a video game reference for characters in the game that aren't actually played by anybody, but they move around and act like they're characters in the game. They generally are a little bit more repetitive. They're not going to be as smart. And the idea of an NPC is kind of one that's kind of taken the popular consciousness. I've seen it as almost like a meme in some ways. I don't believe in them as like, I mean, I hear some people say like there's some people act like NPCs in real life. I do think that's true. I do think sometimes we can kind of automate ourselves in some ways, or sometimes we're not fully present because our minds are somewhere else and we act kind of almost like robots. And sometimes some people just don't know what to say, so they try to fall back to like what was said in the past, like cliches or, just little warm, fuzzy feeling expressions. But that doesn't mean they're NPCs. Everyone's got a soul. Everyone's here. Everyone is conscious. I do believe that. That has its own, I don't know what the right term is. It has its own implications. But I don't believe in the NPC as a real thing, only as a concept, but something that maybe we want to try to work towards avoiding in ourselves. There's something about this where like the cliches of the past sometimes are cliches because they're true, or sometimes they're cliches because they're easy to say in a situation rather than being your authentic self and expressing the true opinion you have. And it really is a choice of yours whether or not to hold on to authenticity and express how you really feel and make perhaps people uncomfortable, or kind of smooth everything over through just like oh well, everything's possible kind of expression, right? I recently heard someone say at the end of an interview, I guess everything is possible, and the other person said no. Not everything is possible. Some things fail spectacularly. But that doesn't mean there aren't options that we're not aware of right now. And that means that there is always hope, because through new knowledge and through new experiences, we can find paths that might actually solve the problems that we were facing in a spectacular way and prove that solving the problem is possible, or finding the world we want is possible. It doesn't mean everything's possible, but it does mean that there are potentially options out there that will allow your goals to be possible. There is a pathway for you to your dreams, so that star that's in your mind is something worthy of following. It just might be a different path to it than you realized. If you see a star and you're aiming for it, I know this is more of like in some ways a religious archetype, but like the three wise men following the star to Jesus, I'm not going down any sort of, we're not going to go there specifically, but the idea of that archetype of following the star is one where you're following something in the distance and you do not know what is in the way. So if you try to follow the star and you continue it, the pathway to it might not be one that is necessarily what you think. It's not going to be a straight line right to that star. Perhaps there's a mountain, or perhaps you don't see a river, and then once you get over that next hill, suddenly there's a river. So in order to continue on, you have to go left, you have to go right. You have to find different paths. Perhaps there's a bridge a little farther down the road, but it's not directly towards the star. You have to go to the right a little bit. You have to go to the left a little bit. You have to find a new pathway, but you're going to find your way to that star, because there are options out there, okay? And that's something that I think needs to be expressed right now. We have the star here, and we're going to nurture our pathway towards it, towards that goal and that vision and that beautiful idea that one really holds dear to their heart. Okay. Group number 4, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please subscribe to me to see more of me in the future, or leave a comment if you feel you resonated, or if not. I take criticism very well. I was a graphic designer in another life, and we live and thrive through criticism. So if you do have a critique, I'd love to hear it as well. But also, if you like this channel, please let me know. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Take care.